thank you all for joining us. We are speaking with Breton Macdonald, our #1 producing area manager with Geneva Financial. Breton's been with the company for 5 years. He's been in the industry for 19 years, almost 2 decades. You wouldn't know it looking at that handsome mug. But 5 years ago when I met Breton, he was a one-man show. And, we started talking as I was building out Geneva's rebrand and my plans for the company to really start to dominate in some markets. And he had some fantastic ideas, and he's really put the hustle and the sweat equity behind it. And as of last week, you landed your 20th branch?
Yep,
20 branches in 5 short years. And that's through COVID, through these market struggles that we're experiencing. So I wanted to have a conversation with Breton today on how he's done it and how the Geneva model has helped him acquire that. Make no mistake, it's Breton's hustle that has gotten him there, but he's certainly leaned on what's available for him at Geneva. So we wanted to make sure you all were aware of that. Let's get right into it, Breton. Talk to us about your journey into and through the mortgage industry and what led you to Geneva.
Absolutely. Thank you for everything. And thank you to those that are here. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I appreciate you taking the time. I usually speak pretty fast to save time and kind of go high levels. So thanks for taking the time. I'll make sure to make it worth your while. It's life changing. I was about 19 years ago, I was consumer direct and worked at my last place for 13 years. Was happy. Was #1 guy in that company for 13 years. It was a lot of fun. And then being there 13 years, I remember they changed our comp from 75 bips to 72 bips. And on that day, I realized I was going to be a pawn, and I knew I needed to become an outdoor cat, learn how to get my own business versus being spoon fed. So that day that they changed our comp, I registered and signed up to get licensed as a broker. So I got my broker's license, and it took several months. And my thought in my brain was I wanted to become a broker because I wanted to have the lowest rates was my idea. But I'd been seeing Geneva's emails and watching Aaron Van Trojan, the owner. I'd been cyber stalking Geneva for about 6 months, and I was going to go become a broker. And I made one phone call. I was standing like right there, and I'll never forget it. And I made one phone call to Aaron Van Trojan about Geneva. And right there in that one conversation, I made the choice to come to Geneva. I was licensed in 48 states. I had a lot of licenses, knowing that it is the highest paid comp with the ability to concession in a competitive situation to come down and beat a broker in pricing. Right then, it was a no-brainer. And I made the move to Geneva 5 years and 10 days
Couple
ago.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years and 10 days ago. I'll never forget it. And I made the move to come over to Geneva 5 years ago. So that was the best move. And I am my own best testimonial for, I can only say what's been true for me, which has been, it's been life-changing in so many ways. And I remember my very first deal at Geneva, at my old place, we used to get paid 75 bips. And it was a deal that I did, and it closed in 14 days. The rate was 1/8 better than what I was selling before. And I got paid 300 bips on it net. And it closed in 2 weeks, and I got a large Homes for Heroes check with it also. And right then at that closing, I knew it was like Geneva's my team. It's my football team. I was all in from there, and that was a starting gate out the gate. And then it just grew from there. We started off with several. Once I did it and I believed in it and I saw the earning potential, all the potential of it. And then you have a couple best friends and a couple of loan officers that you're like, dude, you gotta find out about it. You gotta check this place out. And then they grew, and then it just started snowballing. and I believe in it. There's so much good stuff. I get all excited about it. So it's hard to say it, but here at Geneva, it's been watching these branches grow, and the branches are growing, and just yesterday I had 2 branch managers tell me they were so happy. So I'm watching them grow. So it's really satisfying, gratifying to be surrounded by the right people, made the right choice.
And that's really important. You mentioned you talk to your branch managers and they're happy. It's one thing to bring them on to convince people to come on board, but that they're actually happy. And I'm really excited that we're actually having this call today. Just an hour ago, I got notified that one of our surveys came out with Comparably and Business Insider magazine nationally. We just ranked number 18 alongside IBM, Google, and we beat out companies like Uber and Paycom for best growth opportunity in a company. And that's based on surveying blindly surveying actual employees. So that's really vital, that they feel that they have that opportunity and that the tools are there. So on that point, as I mentioned in the intro, in the short 5 years you've been here, you're now 20 branches under your belt. Aside from your incredible hustle ethic, what support elements and tools at Geneva do you feel have helped you the most in achieving that growth?
Yeah, I'd say the most would be in the growth. That's congratulations to Aaron and Telly and the whole team. The growth is, you can recognize the scalability of it is the one thing, because in my mind I was thinking broker, which I have friends that are brokers, God bless them, love them. In my head, the scalability wasn't there. You'll always be chasing that next deal. 5 years from now, you're going to be chasing the next deal. Nothing against it. Love the hustle. But here, there's radically more compensation to where you can pay your LOs more, and you've now scaled it, and they can get, other branch managers can get LO. Number one thing to help the growth, aside from the compensation and all the meat on the bone that other corporate layering bureaucrats are taking out of, I've seen the P&L pricing at hundreds of banks. They're being taken out. So here it's given to us. We can distribute it how we like. And I'd say the number one thing would be support. And everybody says support, but this is the best support ever I've ever seen. And even other branch managers have come over been in the business for 35 years, and some hardened guys and ladies, they're blown away by the support. So with that support, a deal goes, we just had one go fund in 8 days. We could have funded it earlier, but legally we had to wait. And having that support and the team and everybody behind you, now your realtors are happy. Your loan officers are happy because their realtors are happy and they're referring them deals. And that's what's been snowballing, is when you're delivering speed and communication, being a good human and all the things that we have, that support amplifies it, where that's what makes it scalable. Everybody's happy to be doing their job. And they say it with confidence. And the realtors can tell, can you close this in 21 days? And if I have this appraisal, I can close it in 10. Guaranteed, nobody's faster. And knowing that you're coming from that position, they believe you, and you know that you can get it done. So that's helped the growth. The marketing team, which, shout out to you, one of the few geniuses I know in the world. And you and your team are, it's just incredible. You guys it's so much to even get into that you guys do that I can't touch all the touch points, but the support that you give us and us marketing and sharing and post closing and everything that you guys do is just, it's amazing marketing company within a mortgage company. And I don't know any other mortgage company that has the team that we have with you guys. So the marketing has helped, the support, and I would say the leadership. And I know like Aaron isn't on here today, and he can't really tout himself, and Telly. The leadership that they've done has been, he's become a mentor. And I look up to him for what he does and what he believes in, and him and you guys setting the culture of being a good human. But his transparency, his work ethic, he's one of the, I work hard, not hard. I love what I do. So I love hard. So, but he does even more so. You know, he's at the gym at 5 a.m. He's transparent, he's direct, and he's always looking out for everybody on his team. He's never, you know, it's refreshing to have a leader like that. And during all COVID and tough times or whatever, he's always been there, has our best interests at heart. And he wants to see us grow. Think and Grow Rich. I got the book right here. So just the mindset, you know, of cleaning your bathroom, and the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That kind of mindset from a leader has inspired me to grow to where I found the place where the potential is limitless. I found a place where I can hit my potential and help more people and have fun. So that's the growth, is leadership, support, and you guys, marketing. It makes it easy. It's like, you don't even have to try. I mean, you do try, but yeah, that's what I think has been inspirational and motivating. Like, I'm pumped every day. Matter of fact, when I first started Geneva 5 years ago, I was kind of in my last place, kind of not in a rut. You lose your mojo a bit. And I remember when I first started at Geneva, my wife said, she's like, you're like excited again. Something's changed. And I've been excited since I've been here 5 years and 10 days. I wake up passionate and excited about it because it makes it fun. It should be fun.
And that's not easy considering what the industry's been through the last 3 years. Been rocky roads. But burnout definitely is a risk in that. So and I'm with you there. It's nice to feel good about work every day, especially under these conditions.
Right.
And I think the stuff that you mentioned is the biggest hurdle that we face when trying to recruit talent is I talk to people, recruits, or I talk to people in the industry that I know that at previous companies, and they're like, how are you able to offer that kind of compensation? Something has to be lacking. And I think that's our biggest hurdle, is the belief factor of, no, it's not missing. You've got the support. The recruits say, well, can I close my loans? I don't care how much money you pay me. If I can't close my loans, it doesn't matter. When they find out that, yeah, actually we close faster than most, we're incredibly efficient, and that's how we're able to pay more, is through efficiency. And we're not, fluffy on management and other areas, and it's very intelligent model that I admire greatly what Aaron has put together in that aspect. But to still get all of that support, to have scenario desks and help desks and branch support, and get paid all of that, plus the marketing platform that has zero cost to the originator or the branch, where you typically would get charged at other companies for your CRM, your mobile app, all those other items, and to get that compensation is pretty fantastic. For you, what would you say? I mean, you've been in the industry 2 decades. What is the biggest difference between companies you've originated at before and Geneva Financial?
Biggest difference before, I would say speed was a game changer. Speed, I used to think it was communication, but then I learned that it's speed. If you're the fastest, or not that, it's speed, and it's communication is second. Because right now I can call an underwriter, call anybody to pick up the phone. It's communication. There's no, spoke to a branch yesterday and it's multiple layers. You got a question on something and it's multiple layers, emails back and forth, 4 days before you get an answer. Here, it's pick up the phone, shoot an email, and you've got an answer right there. So it's just such wasted nonsense and I hear a lot of nightmare stories about it, but just having that here has been the biggest biggest value almost, because you don't need to I've got a LSU loan status update in Arizona, and they're like, do we get the loan status update? I'm like, we were CTC yesterday. Like, you don't need to let you know that we need another loan status update. So speed, I would say speed. And everybody that's here at Geneva, I love how everybody helps each other. All the products. It was a reverse this morning. The HELOC in first position. We do every loan I can think of. If we can't do it, I don't know anybody that really can. So
Yeah.
having all the products and everything, and everybody within the company, it's hard to explain, but everybody's helping everybody. You know, you're surrounded by a bunch of pros that help you when you got a question on a certain kind of funky file. So having the team, the whole company helping each other along with the speed, nothing better.
That's vitally important. That another support level, just, not only speed and process, but speed and response is vital, and getting those loans done and creating at the end, all that matters is the happy customers.
Right.
Don't forget, y'all, to drop your questions in the Q&A if you have any, and we'll make sure to get those answered by Breton or myself. So Breton, what advice do you have for anyone looking to step into a branch manager role, or a branch manager who wants to develop a division like yourself?
Yeah, this is the good stuff. And I just actually we have 21 branches. We got another one this week. It was amazing. So the way
Unstoppable.
Yeah, no, and it's only, I feel like it's a best kept secret, but it's not really a secret. And I'd always recommend Cyberstock Geneva. It took me 6 months. I'm not a hopper. And that's, so just due diligence on it. This is your career, anything like that. So the way I describe it is, so a new branch just came over from a well-known company. They do a lot of signing bonuses, but they're just loans. That was up. And just for an example, it's double to triple the income at the same exact price point that you're selling now, in a nutshell. So just for example, this loan officer, who's a good producing loan officer, had middle management not doing anything for him. Kind of like my favorite type is a good producing loan officer that was making 150 bips a file. Over here at the same exact price point on conventional, same exact rate she's selling today, she's at 250 and 300. So that's double the income with faster ops, faster everything. And she's got her own branch now. So to me, let's just say, I'll just use round numbers. I don't know, numbers can be different everywhere, but for round numbers, going from 150 to 300. Now she knows loan officers that are not happy where they are. So now she can have them pay them 200, using these as general. She can pay them 200. They're getting paid more with faster ops, faster everything. The marketing is way better. And she's making 100 bips off of their production. So if she gets 3, 4, however many she wants, whatever she aspires to, if her branch does 4 million, she makes 40 grand plus her own production. I didn't leave my last job happy where I was, comfortable making 250 a year, to go make 450 a year. It's whatever you aspire to be, but the goal is to become a millionaire, to be financially free, to have time with my family so I can give. So I describe it as 3 flows. There's your own deals, which is keep the main thing, because that's what people resonate when you're doing well. Other people can feel it. So you do your own deals, but then you've got the roughly 100 bips, let's say, off of your team. Then there's the third flow, which is corporate. Geneva pays 1/8 to referring over branches. So just for an example, that's a third flow where if you know a branch and let's say they do 2 million, you get 1/8 from corporate, which is 2,500 mailbox money, we call it.
Yep.
And you want to help them grow and stuff, but take that times 10. There you go. Now you're getting those checks, your team's doing loans, and then you can do your own loans. And luckily blessed enough to where I love the hustle and I love the game, but I don't want a realtor asking me if the appraisal's in yet. God bless them. I'll do it. I love it. But the goal is, if I'm sitting down with my family and the phone rings from a realtor, I'd rather give it to a loan officer who's going to get paid top dollar, and he's grateful to get it. that I don't have to have that call while I'm having my daughter's gymnastics. I don't want to look at my phone. I'm not going to look at my phone. So, excuse me, that's the scalability of it. So you've got the 3 different flows, and that's where I've watched these branches, and they know people who aren't happy somewhere else, who's a really good loan officer who's gone. I've seen him go from place to place to place, and they're not getting what, or their P&Ls are being chewed up. The big difference, a lot of branch managers, is that over here, it's true net. You're not getting paid BIPs, you get paid comp. So at other places, they might have high BIPs, but they're hitting you for credit, marketing, Encompass, employee tax. This is how you can scale it. Employee tax is usually 10% on all your employees. So there's all these nickel and dime things that are cut out, where it's a true, transparent, clean model that doubles. It's simple. So that's what makes it. Those are the 3 things that I would say to them, is reach out to the people that they know, plus our recruiting team. You guys have done with marketing and the recruiting, we help recruit all day long, as much as more than you could handle. You know, live coming into you. This morning, I had a call from a branch in Alabama, and you know, it's that's what I would say for growing. It just takes time. Some people are doing it real quick. Another branch came on in November, and they've already got 2 branches and 10 LOs in their office, and he was an LO 8 months ago. So, but it's whatever you aspire to be. Some people are happy. Like I describe it as, this is the last, right? My flag is down. This is the last email signature I'll ever have. That's what I want, is to ride off into the sunset, is at the final place, not hopping from place to place. Because there's either, the way I see it, there's either broker channel, God bless them, or a bank. Either stay where, if you're staying where you are and retiring there, cool. God bless. We're all on the same team, help each other. But there's either stay where you are, broker channel, or bank. And this, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've never seen us beat ever as far as pricing and comp goes. So, and with that, you're set up for the future. You know, it just kind of makes you feel good that you're at the final place and you can't get any better. So it's like, this is the last stand. It is, it's kind of comforting to know that you're in it for the long run.
Yeah. And I think that speaks to the opportunity that is available, especially in markets like these. You know, the survivability in markets like these, if you set yourself up with those opportunities, those overrides that you speak of, you know, and we allow our branches to recruit nationwide. So we're going to place them where they need to be placed compliance wise. But you know, we're making sure that everybody has an opportunity to do some recruiting. And one of my bigger frustrations, 15 years in the industry, is seeing mortgage companies promise a robust recruiting platform for their branch managers, and it just falls on its face. I've never seen any of them succeed in it. It's just a lot of empty promises, and so I kind of made it my personal vendetta to make sure that we're really delivering on those items. And when I talk to a branch manager that's thinking about coming on board, and they're like, I do a lot of recruiting, and I've been promised a lot in the past. What, you know, what are you going to do for me? And you know, it feels good to be able to tell them, I'm going to have appointments in your calendar the first week you're on board. I'm not going to talk a big game to you. That's what I'm going to deliver you. You're going to see it. And we deliver on that. And they're absolutely flabbergasted when we, you know, the call center that we've built out, huge applause to you working with me on that piece. It is winning hand over fist, and they're blown away by getting it actually delivered. And they're having opportunities and conversations day in and day out. Those appointments are coming, you know, flowing in. So we're really good at systems and giving opportunity for growth. But as you said, it's what you want to make of it. The best system in the world is only as good as the person that's working it. So the opportunity is definitely there. I want to address a question in the Q&A from a viewer. Says, with a huge product mix, it's impossible to know all the guidelines. How does Geneva help me with a possible deal when I'm not familiar with the product details? This goes into the support that Brett and I were just talking about. from a branch support email to scenario desks. We have a product hub where everything is laid out. We've got recorded trainings. We're constantly live training, and we've got individuals to help walk you through those items. And then when we've got things that are specialized, then we'll create a division, product division that really specializes in that area to make sure that our loan originators are up to par on things like reverse mortgage or the all-in-one home select mortgage that we have. That is just an excellent product for your more affluent buyers. And then we're about to roll out a portfolio division where you're going to have access in-house to some incredible products that you would normally have to send out to a credit union. So we've just constantly got to focus on that. We're launching a more advanced training system with products, so you're definitely covered in that area, so you know exactly where to put your clients. We are a direct lender. We had a question pop in: are we a broker or a lender? We are a direct lender. Okay, Breton, next question. What are your feelings on the human culture here at Geneva, and how is that factored into your growth?
I love this place. It's got a good, everybody's gonna say culture. God bless. This is, it's a good culture. Probably can't say it on a webinar. It's to be a good human is we don't have any, not that I know of, no, keep it clean. There's no jerks. Right. There's no jerks. And that's where I can tell usually I don't want them around. Everybody can do what they want, but but I can tell within talking to somebody, because we're not the perfect fit for everybody. A lot of times that's the hardest part, I would say, of it, is finding the right, you can tell within minutes usually if they're a good person. Is you want good people they're naturally good humans that are pros. I'm not the jerk or argumentative or pushing buttons or just, I don't know anybody in the company that's like that. I'm sure there are maybe, but it's the culture of, some people aren't happy where they are and they come over here and they're ecstatic. So it's like a jolt. So the good human culture is what you and Aaron and it's kind of all about. Is it explains itself, just being a good human, just naturally. That's our default, is helping people, caring about the homeowner and the realtor and their families. And in the community, a lot of us with Homes for Heroes. We love helping the heroes, just getting involved. And our Geneva Gives program, and just things that Geneva does to support the community, and just us all individually where we are. We're just spreading who we are. It's just being a good human just explains itself. And I can usually tell you want to surround yourself with good people like that. No mean girls in the club. If we want good people that love what they do and they're pros, and that's, I describe it as, it's not all stuffy bureaucratic wearing a tie, where's your TPS report or whatever. This is just professionals that are pros at our craft at this level. And we surround ourselves with other pros that are good. I got happy faces on the emails and people are happy. So it's your work family. We spend so much time working that you want to surround yourself with good, positive people. When somebody calls me, if somebody calls me, I'm happy to pick it up because they're good people. So it's just it's a culture that's hard to describe unless you're kind of in it.
Yeah, and it's another one of those things that are promised a lot, and not just in this industry, but companies across the country. They talk, again, a big game on culture, and that, when I crafted the human culture here, it already existed. I just put a name to it. And so it's really important that we live those core values that we all agreed on. And I've been in advertising for 30 some years, aging myself here, but I've never seen a company adapt to their core values as well and as consistently as Geneva. And I've written core values for major companies, and they've not done it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see the promises, and you can feel it in the employees over time. At first they're like, oh, oh, they can get behind it, rah rah. But in very short order, they realize it's not authentic. And I think that's vitally important. It reflects in every area, again, most importantly, down to the customer. And you can't achieve something that we've achieved is, a 5-star Google rating with thousands of reviews. They will destroy you. If your employees aren't happy, they're going to create unhappy customers, and they will destroy your online reputation. So that right there for me is proof that the culture that we're creating and living in is actually working. So that, I mean, that's important. Okay, at this point, I'm going to launch a poll for you guys to answer, and we're going to get into this topic. We've touched on it a little bit already, Breton, but I kind of want to dive a little deeper with you. Some of the biggest pushback that we get when talking to potential talent is the compensation can't be real, or it's a bait and switch, or the reduced expense P&L can't be real. I want to know your raw personal experience with, your personal compensation as well as the branch expenses.
I like this
Did I
poll.
lose you?
I like this poll. Did you ask me a question? I was sorry. I was watching the poll come in, watching live.
No, you're fine. I'll just share those results right now. So 70% are not.
Net is the key factor, and
Net is that key factor.
Aaron is
So
talking. Yeah.
As I was saying, the biggest pushback we get is on that compensation and the P&L expenses, and that it can't be real, and you're living in it every day. I just want to know what your real raw experience has been.
Right. And that's what Aaron has taught me. And he's right. A lot of branch managers don't know the difference between net and gross. It's amazing to me. And somebody, if I know competitors, you'll see, 275 bips. Oh, it's a bait and switch. That's why it's not, you're being expensed. Usually from what I see, it'll be between 65 to 200 bips in expenses. Here it is, there it's zero. Like you've got it's zero. You got to pay a little insurance compensation, but it's true. It's zeroed out net. When you get that, like I said, let's just use for an example, 300 points on 500,000, it's $15,000 check. Your LO gets 200 or however there's nothing taken out of it, which is, it's like false advertising for other people to say, oh, it's 400 bips or whatever. And there's 200 bips in expenses. You're paying for everything nickel and dimed. The compensation is more important than bips. So how you've had on that poll, are you netting more than 250? 70% no. That's I'm surprised it's not higher, because it's branch managers debt. And I've seen hundreds of P&Ls. I've never seen us beat compensation ever. I've seen it get almost close, but it's never come to what you make net compensation to bring home to your family than anywhere else at the same price point. Now we can have a better price point, and you could make the exact same over here and be giving your customers 125 bips better pricing on every single client you have and make the same amount you're making now. So you can flip it however you want. So you're giving your customers a higher rate at the same comp that you're getting. So you can move it wherever you want to move it. It's autonomous, not bureaucratic. So you get to choose where you want your margins and run your own branch, which is perfect. I couldn't imagine anywhere better.
Yeah, it's a bit, I mean, there's a big difference between 250 bips with a broker, 250 bips at another retail that is going to line item a lot more items than we are, and 250 bips on this model. The marketing component alone is a massive reduction in expenses, because at the very least, the branch is going to be paying for the CRM, for the mobile mortgage app, for a lot of the other functionalities and tools that we provide. We've got more tools than anybody, and everything's completely automated. We've gotten it to the point, and this was my goal, that the LO is completely hands off, that it's just plug and play, and everything's automated from the 10:03 all the way through post closing. We're asking for reviews on your behalf, driving them to your review website without you having to do anything. We've automated closing gifts. I mean, just everything is handled, and that's a lot of expense taken off of the branch P&L, and off of the originators expenses that they sometimes take out of pocket. So there's a massive savings there. To an extent that people don't believe us, but promise you that is accurate.
It is true, and it saves time. That was one of the first reasons why I came over. Is you've got the marketing, there's so much working in the background. It takes me an hour to put together some cool Canva and some kind of thing like that. It's not my strength. I'd rather do what I do. And you guys are so awesome in the background every day, putting out content, reaching out to our past clients, our Geneva Go app, which is all just organized, and it makes it scalable. So I don't have to think about that stuff. That's not my.
And we have a viewer ask about, can we see an example of the tech automation? I don't have anything to show you right at this moment, but you can go to joingfi.com, and there is a demo in there. I give a full demo of the entire marketing platform, but I will share with you just one piece. Well, first of all, my goal is for every loan that our originators put into Encompass, that our automation and my marketing team turns that into 2 or 3 more deals without you having to do a thing. And how we attain that is primarily through automation. And then my team does additional monitoring and data scrubbing, a lot of work behind the scenes that, again, you're not, the originator is not worrying about. But just one of those pieces is, the minute your client closes their deal, we are monitoring the rate that they close the deal at against the market every single hour. We're adding a cushion to accommodate for your pricing, and we're also tracking how many payments they've made on their mortgage. So our goal there is to get in front of them before servicers are trying to refinance your client, but also not too soon as to risk an EPO. So all of that has to be perfect. And we got that system down so that it's not going to trigger until those circumstances are absolutely perfect. They're, the market rate drops far enough below where they're currently sitting. They've made enough payments, and then boom, you're going to get alerted that you have a client ready for refinance. But by the time you get that alert, your client already has an email in their inbox. And it's an intelligently written email. It's not saying, hey, you can refinance now, because you don't know that. We don't know all the factors. They could have bombed their credit score in the 6 months since they closed with you. But it's intelligently written that it's time for a conversation to look at the health of your mortgage. The market's making some moves, and you could benefit from what's going on. Let's have a conversation. We got that in place right before COVID hit. And then rates went down into the basement. We actually, obviously rates, down in the 2s. It was so massive that we had to turn it off for a week, because our operations teams were just absolutely inundated with all the loans coming in from that system alone, and the originators didn't have to do a thing. So it was really, really good timing. And then again, when the market corrects, and we see a drop in everybody that's been buying at the 6 and 7% rates, that automation is in place. Additionally, we pull all the contacts from the contract right into the CRM when you have a transaction in, and the listing agent gets pulled in, and then we let you go through the transaction with them. We're not going to market to them right off the bat. and they go through a beautiful transaction. They've been communicated to with their loan milestones, letting them know, all the steps of the way where the loan is in process. And we, close on time, we close smoothly. They're already impressed, and then we start to market to them to open up a relationship on your behalf automatically. You don't have to assign a campaign, you don't have to do anything. It's just automatically opening that relationship, talking to them about what matters to them. I'm not going to market to a listing agent on things that are important to a buyer's agent. We're going to talk about single property websites that are going to help them. We're going to talk about our property rate relationship, which is going to help them pull a report that's going to give them accuracy and pricing before they go to a listing appointment. Those are all, just two of the ways that our automation is creating more deals for you guys without you having to do anything. And that's barely scraping the surface of what we're doing.
Yeah, barely.
Barely.
It's so much that I scratch the surface. 20%. I do my best just to keep up with it. You guys are amazing. It's too much. Even you can go on for an hour on just the stuff that you guys do, hours. So yeah, I can't. Thank you for all you guys do. You guys are making us look good and helping.
Well, and that's why I built it that way. Is we wanted the automation in place so that my team didn't have to worry about things either. And that we would have a good breadth of offering, because everyone's different. Some people really want to focus on social media. Some people don't want to focus on anything. Some people are into lead generation. And so we've got something that covers everyone. But the automation piece is what everyone should be doing. Asking for reviews. We ask for referrals every quarter automatically. There's just a ton that we do on your behalf, so that when you decide what you want to focus on, my team then acts as an advertising agency to help you focus just on the piece that you like to do. The rest of it, forget about. Just focus on what's going to work for you, and we help you come up with a plan and help you to execute it.
Amen. You're the
Yes,
best.
sir. So in closing, Breton, and then we'll leave it open for some questions. What's your favorite thing about Geneva?
It's allowed me to grow and kind of hit the potential. It is I chose wisely. So grateful that I chose the right chalice. I'm so grateful. The thing I like most is it's because I like to think long term. We should all be thinking long term, and freedom and financial freedom. Why we do what we do is to work, to provide for our families, or whatever your why is. Here it just gets you there faster. So what I love most would just be I found home. It takes it away. Like when you find the right partner, I'm happy that I chose wisely. Thank God. So somebody might have chosen the wrong partners or different companies. They don't work out, but once you kiss a couple frogs and you come over here, that's why I'm so happy that the branch managers that are here, we know what we got, because we've been through some bad relationships in the past. So it makes me happy knowing that I'm helping people, having fun. I'm helping people grow, which is something I never wanted to be a manager ever, just because I knew that most loan officers are full of it. I know the games. So, but now all of a sudden I'm not a manager. It's more of a leader, and I want to help people get to third base faster, get there faster. And I've paid a lot of dummy tax learning things, so helping them get there. So I've discovered that I'm really good at it. I want to help them and I love them. So that's what I love about it, is I've got passion in what I do, and I'm helping people, I'm having fun, and I'm providing. So, I mean, amen. I'm grateful. I'm just super grateful.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head with your home piece. I think that's really, really important factor. I'll tell you a little story. Shortly after I started, I wanted to start doing those scoreboards that we put out now. And I got a few questions and raised eyebrows, like, aren't you concerned that that's just a list for recruiters? And then I said, well, first of all, recruiters can get lists from anywhere if they're worth their grain of salt. But also we're creating a culture and a company that creates unrecruitable originators and operations staff. And we need to operate in that confidence, and to have gotten to that point is really fantastic. The leadership at this company has worked tirelessly to get there, and changing with the times, and very quick on their feet. It's quite impressive. I've never been as impressed with the leadership team as I have been here. And that's what creates those unrecruitable loan officers, and you can then operate in confidence and not worry. Sure, you're going to lose some, but that's the business. But it's a whole lot less when you focus on everyone's happiness. And I hear that more and more and more than anywhere else is, I'm not going, this is my last stop. And that's the game changer right there, to
Right.
hear that this is my last stop. Breton, any last thoughts?
I would say due diligence. If you're either going to stay where you are forever, and congrats, or I would say due diligence, do like I did, cyber stalking, check Geneva out. Like James said, due diligence. I hear it just like James does. Oh, they said they would. It bugs me when you see somebody who's been in a place for a long time. They go somewhere for 4 months and then somewhere else for 4 months because somebody fed them. Everything I've said or James has said, it's way better than that. 100%. So due diligence, cyber stalk, it is too good to be true, but it's true. So I would do that. I'd reach out to, we can reach, like Aaron says, you can reach out to any of the branch managers and get the same from any of us. So I would say reach out to James or joingfi.com or whoever sent you an invite. I would do diligence and just reach out, ask questions. It can't hurt. And you never know. This is one thing I'm learning is you got some big banks that just went away and they're calling now, and they were, the ego was there and stuff before and they're gone. So you never know. So even if somebody's not moving or whatever, it's good to know that there is, Geneva is legit to where you've got a spot. This is the end game. You can reach out to any of us, anybody, to get a transparent, confidential conversation and pencil it out. Do the math. It's just math with some flair. Yeah, appreciate you, James, and the whole team. I'm grateful.
Appreciate you as well. Another question rolled in. If I get on board with a BM, how do I later become a BM? We have a lot of people do that. They're not, either they themselves don't feel that they're ready. They're a little nervous about it, or the hiring branch manager doesn't quite feel that they're there, but they know they can benefit by taking them under their wing. And we get that quite a bit. And what's great is we've got a lot of branch managers that are really good at that. And they bring them up. They bring them up to that level, and they make it their goal to get them to that point. And so they put a plan in place, and then they elevate them to branch manager level, and then they wind up with their own branch. We've got quite a few instances of that occurring. So,
right.
So if you want to interview, if anybody wants to talk to a talent recruiter, joingfi.com. There is a acquisition or talent acquisition interview form on that site. That is the site as well where you can see the marketing demonstration, where I lay out the entire platform for you guys on how we help grow your business. You'll also see a bunch of other items on that page. And then we'll, when you submit that form, we'll get you in the hands of talent acquisition. Sir Breton, I appreciate you taking the time today. I know you're a busy guy. This is a fantastic conversation. Everybody, this was recorded. We'll be sending it out to all the recruits on our system. So if you received an email to attend this, then you'll receive the recording as well, so you can rewatch if you would like. Thank you all for being on today. I appreciate it, and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, James.
Thank
Thank
you, B.
Thanks, guys.